I am pretty sure I know how episode 6 of The Acolyte is going to play out, so stick to the end of the video to find out. Liffarian Parzer here to talk about episode 5 of The Acolyte. Is it the worst episode out there? Well, if you follow the trend line, this one should be the worst episode, but it's not. It's actually one of the best episodes out there, but that's not saying a lot compared to the very, very, very low bar that is set by episodes 1 through 4. So saying this one is the best one out of those is, well, not saying a lot entirely. And the only reason why it isn't the worst is that it physically could not be the worst, because this entire episode was just a fight scene between Smilo Ren and the Jedi, the Padawan and May, and then Smilo Ren and the Jedi again, and then May beating Osha in a fight. So that's basically all that happened this episode. They did introduce Force Heal 88 years before The Phantom Menace to try and help with The Rise of Skywalker. Why would anybody try to rehabilitate that movie is a mystery to me, but they did do that, which is kind of odd considering a Sith could do Force Heal 88 years before The Phantom Menace, and Obi-Wan hasn't been taught Force Heal to heal Qui-Gon Jinn. Like, that just... okay, it's not going to be answered. Disney can't answer why that exists, so whatever. Then we also have the issue with, like, the lightsaber disrupting armor. And it is in the expanded universe canon, so I guess I could give it a pass because, like, okay, look, it exists in Star Wars originally. And then I could give you an excuse that all the rest of the Sith want to prove that they have power over the Force and that they could beat the Jedi fair and square, quote unquote. So there you go. That's why the Sith in the prequels and the original trilogy don't use the disrupting armor, because that is seen as a cheap move. Okay, but the Sith always seem to cheat, so whatever, maybe this is the line. This is too much. The real issue is when Smilo Ren calls himself a Sith. He identifies himself as a Sith. Though he doesn't seem to believe that himself, he seems to believe that that would be a title given to him by the Jedi. So there you go. But the problem is he did say the word Sith, and he knows about the Sith because he could say that, which means that Sol, the only living Jedi out of everyone else, because everybody else got killed by Smilo Ren, would report this to the Council, right? The Jedi Council. The Jedi Council will know 88 years before the Phantom Menace that the Sith came back. Unless May kills Sol in the ship, because, yes, May and Osha switch places, and Sol can't, like, Force sense that, because the Force is like Schrodinger's cat, apparently. If you're not using it, it doesn't exist. It's in this nebulous state. So he can't sense that May is not Osha, and he brings May onto the ship. So if May kills Sol, I guess there's an excuse to why the Jedi Council wouldn't know that Sith exist. But the first thing Sol should be doing is going to the comm relay and telling the Jedi Temple, hey, look, Sith exists. And I don't know if that's going to happen in episode 6. What I think is going to happen in episode 6, because the writers are dumb, is that Sol is going to travel to Coruscant to tell them about the Sith. But in the meantime, we're going to get hit with 2 flashbacks, because Sol in episode 4 told Osha, hey, when we're going into this forest, we're not just confronting May and whatever dark side force is behind May, we're confronting our past. So because he said, hey, look, we're confronting our past, and he also told Osha, after we collect May and we bring her onto the ship, I will explain everything. I'm pretty sure episode 6 is going to be a flashback episode where Sol sits May down thinking that she's Osha and explain to her what really happened in the Witch Coven. Now, then I expect May to explain her side of the story. Then Sol, like, suddenly realizes that May is not Osha, But May is like, hey, look, I really care about my sister. We have to get her back. And then they team up and then they go and fight Smilo Ren, which would be episode 8, I'm pretty sure. So the resolution is episode 8. And then I'm pretty sure Soul would also explain that he was the one that implanted certain memories into Osha to make her more compliant. And they will use that as an excuse to explain away why Stone burned. You see, if they were smart, they will use that as an excuse to explain how May burning the book led to the entire fortress burning down, because that didn't make sense. And Soul could say, I put that memory in your brain because we needed you to like not have connections with your family, and so we took you to the Jedi Temple to train you. And then May would say, oh, you guys are evil. But then Soul would say, yeah, but we really want to help your sister. And then they like hash it out in peace that way. I'm pretty sure we're going to get 2 flashbacks, each one explaining the 2 different sides of what happened in the Witch Coven. And then we'll hopefully get some resolution there. Soul is not going to report that a Sith exists. And then they're going to grab even more Jedi Masters and go to that planet to confront Smilo Ren one more time, because the lightsaber whip scene still hasn't happened yet. So we have to go back to that planet for that to happen. And so there you go. That's what I think is going to happen in episode 6. Episode 7, probably a tracking episode where the Jedi go to the planet and track down Smilo Ren. And then episode 8 is the big confrontation where they finally turn everyone to the light side and they kill Smilo Ren. Maybe, probably, sort of. Or Soul falls to the dark side. Don't know. You know, hey, this is Disney Star Wars. Who actually knows what's going on in that crazy head of theirs? Like, comment, and subscribe. That's the end of the video. See ya.